With camel riding done, it was time to head to higher ground, much higher. I'm now on my way to Daju Mountain, a place best known for its living stones. Living stone? This I had to see, and it was only a 15-minute drive away. Dajushan is an ordinary mountain, but at the base of it lies an extraordinary temple called Stone Gate Temple. And that's what's up next on Getaway. The Stone Gate Temple's history reaches back for more than 800 years. As Europe was enmeshed in its second round of crusades to the Middle East, China was experiencing a moment of flourish in its search for enlightenment. The temple's actual gates are actually two immense stones. To their left flows a clear spring reflecting in emerald and aquamarine. Called Yuchuan, or Jade Spring, its clear waters have been a drinking source for nearly a millennia and give the temple its second name, Jade Spring Temple. The temple was destroyed by war during the 1940s and then rebuilt, looking now much like the original. As legend would have it, the monks who first built the Stone Gate Temple didn't choose its location. Instead, the location chose itself. Why? Because it's located in the extremely unique cradle of the rock outcroppings of Daju Mountain. In fact, this mountain has 102 rock outcroppings that are so unique they almost take the form of sculptures, some of which have almost miraculously made their way right here to the temple grounds itself. The Stone Gate Temple's environ is more a blessing of nature than a work of man. Surrounded by peculiar stones, the temple effuses an aura of lifelike elegance. Elegance such as the stone monk, the two chess players, and my favorite, the toad. And there's another mountain in the area, Xiaoju Mountain, a newly developed beauty spot that is only 10 kilometers from Jiaonan proper. The locals here often say, Daju Mountain is not big, and Xiaoju Mountain is not small. Ironic and interesting. And while Xiaoju Mountain isn't small, its roads are, and they present a real driving challenge. Now, this is something that's definitely worth taking a look at. In Chinese, I believe you would call this Zhongxi Jiehe, which means an east-west combination. Why? Because on these very ancient stones, they have these very newly etched historical figures, both Eastern and Western, memorialized in this way. This here is, as I'm sure you've already been able to figure out, Mr. William Shakespeare. While both locales are famous for their stone, Daju Mountain and Xiaoju Mountain are not at all alike. While Daju Mountain stones seem to come alive, Xiaoju Mountain stones are full of etching and inscriptions made by real-life people. Beautifully etched patterns and characters can be found everywhere on Xiaoju Mountain, all with distinctive shapes and features, many of them works done by contemporary artists. Of the etchings, the one called Xinjing caught my attention. It's said to be the largest stone inscription in the world. Each of its etched characters is the size of two Yao Mings stacked feet to shoulder. While ascending Xiaoju Mountain, I began to understand why locals like to say this mountain is not small. Looking at the cityscape below, I felt as though I was peering down from the heavens. Though newly developed, Xiaoju gives visitors a sense of unspoiled and untainted beauty. I have traveled the length and breadth of China, and every day I have experienced something magical and new. But alas, every day must end. Well, we have mounted Xiaoju Mountain, and now it's time to get back down. And that is a challenge in and of itself. When you've got to make a U-turn on a mountain, you should do a couple of things. One, you should make sure that the space you have is wide enough. The space that I have right now, facing a sheer cliff, is just wide enough to employ a technique called a three-point turn. What I'm going to do is safely put my car into drive, check my spacing, and begin to move forward. And as I move forward, spin the wheel until I have come almost to the edge of the sheer cliff. I will then very carefully put the car in reverse, bring my wheel all the way to the other side, and reverse, making sure that I don't hit the mountain face behind me. There, the car is alerting me that I'm getting close. I will then come forward again to the edge, reverse hopefully just one more time, and there we have done it. We have managed to make a three-point turn without getting ourselves bumped off the cliff. So, one last straighten up. We have reversed on a cliff and are on our way down Chaozhou Mountain. That's another getaway driving tip. Coming up next episode, from mountain to waters, what's left in Jiaonan? Life the way the locals live it, of course. Watch out, because Dalong goes looking for lunch next time on Getaway.